Sienna Bacall's escape attempt. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Meanwhile, Noah and Sienna are still trapped in the storage room. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, suspect their son has been drugged and was only given clues by Matt, not an exact location. Even though it seems like Nick and Sharon have hit a dead end, Sienna has an idea. Sienna finds something on the floor and starts digging. Sienna asks Noah to help her. However, will they get out in time? Sienna Bacall has always walked the line between mystery and danger, but her latest move could be the one that changes everything on the young and the restless. For weeks, fans have sensed a shift in her behavior, a tightening of the walls around her, as secrets she never meant to reveal began pressing against her carefully built facade. Now those walls are cracking, and sources inside the storyline say Sienna may finally be ready to break free from the control, manipulation, and surveillance that have been shadowing her every step. Her escape attempt is not just a plot twist. It's a revelation of everything she's feared, everything she protected, and everything she's desperate to run from. What makes this moment explosive is how uncharacteristically frantic Sienna becomes. She's known for staying composed, slipping through conversations with smooth confidence and polished charm. But this time, the fear is visible. When someone who normally hides all vulnerabilities suddenly shows cracks, it forces everyone around them to look closer, ask harder questions, and wonder exactly what she's been hiding. Genoa City is full of characters with secrets, but Sienna's truth may be the kind that rewrites entire relationships. Noah Newman is the first to pick up on her change. Their connection has been complicated from the moment it began, full of chemistry, mistrust, and a strange familiarity that neither of them could quite explain. Noah recognizes the signs of a person about to run because he's been that person before. His instincts kick in the moment Sienna starts pulling away, avoiding questions, and glancing over her shoulder as though someone unseen is following her every move. He doesn't know who she's afraid of, but he knows fear when he sees it, and the possibility of losing her now pushes him to act. But Noah isn't prepared for how deeply the situation reaches into Sienna's past. The more she tries to distance herself, the more obvious it becomes that she isn't simply making a personal decision. She's terrified of something or someone, and whatever that danger is followed her from the moment she arrived in town. Her escape attempt isn't about running away from Noah or from Genoa City. It's about running for her life, or at least for her freedom. The moment she slips out of sight sets off alarms for the people who have recently pulled her into their circle. Claire Grace notices the shift as well, but Claire's reaction is more cautious than Noah's. Claire has fought too hard to rebuild her life, to ignore the warning signs when another woman in town starts showing the kind of stress that comes from hidden threats. Claire understands how manipulation works, how powerful forces can trap a person without ever laying a hand on them. She wants to help, but she's also wary of getting pulled into someone else's chaos. Still, something about Sienna mirrors pieces of Claire's own past, and that similarity tugs at her conscience. Victoria Newman enters the mix when she realizes that Sienna's anxiety may be connected to decisions made inside Newman Enterprises. While Victoria doesn't fully trust Sienna, she knows when someone is being backed into a corner. Newman has many enemies, and sometimes those enemies use vulnerable people as chess pieces. The possibility that Sienna could be leveraged or threatened hits too close to home. Victoria begins quietly investigating, not for Sienna's sake, but because if someone is trying to pull strings in her territory, she wants to know who, and she wants to know fast. Meanwhile, Victor Newman is watching from a distance, suspicious as ever. Victor has questioned Sienna's motive since the day she crossed paths with the Newman family, and her sudden disappearance only fuels his belief that something darker is going on. But Victor's version of concern often means monitoring rather than comforting. If Sienna thinks she's escaping unseen, she may be very wrong. As Sienna attempts to flee, she's torn between fear and guilt. She doesn't want to leave Noah without an explanation, but she believes staying puts him at risk. She doesn't want Claire dragged into the shadows of a past she never meant to expose. She doesn't want to become another crisis for the Newmans. But sometimes running feels like the only way to keep everyone safe. Her plan is rushed, emotional, and far from perfect, but in the moment, it's all she has. That's when everything collides. Noah tracks her down, catching up to her just before she slips away again. He demands the truth, not out of anger, but out of fear of losing her. The confrontation is intense yet emotional, a breaking point for both of them. Sienna finally hints that something dangerous is closing in, but she doesn't say who or why. Noah's frustration grows, but so does his resolve. He refuses to let her face whatever this is alone. Claire overhears part of the exchange, stepping in at exactly the wrong or right moment. She wants to help, and she offers a level of understanding that only someone who has lived through manipulation can give. For a second, Sienna falters. She realizes she is not as alone as she once believed. But then her fear snaps back into place, reminding her that trust has consequences. Sienna's escape attempt doesn't succeed, but it exposes something bigger than anyone anticipated. Genoa City now knows she is not just a mysterious newcomer. She is someone carrying a massive, dangerous secret, one that could blow open a new storyline stretching across multiple families. The Newmans are already in her orbit. The Abbotts may not be far behind. Even the corporate world could become tangled in whatever she's been running from. The fallout of this attempt is only beginning. Noah's loyalty is about to be tested more deeply than ever. Claire may find herself pulled into psychological territory she hoped she'd never revisit. Victoria and Victor could discover that Sienna's situation reaches deeper into their empire than they expected. And Sienna, who has spent her life surviving, must now decide whether she will stand with the people trying to help her or run again before the past catches up.